It was a bit scary at first because we were still in the drought, and I come back and I started mowing, like basically mowing dirt. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell have I got myself into here? All of a sudden the rain came and that was it. It just took off. And yeah, so then my son was still at school at the time. He used to come out with me like when I was getting really busy to help me out because I never had a ride on when I first started. Then I got a ride on because I was getting more work. Since then, we've bought 2 ride-ons and a stand-up Sandy Beef. I've re-employed him full-time. He left school and he's working with me full-time.
So Craig, thank you very much for joining us today on the Jim's Mowing and Jim's Group podcast. Now, Craig's been with us since 2019, end of 2019, and you're Jim's Mowing Denham Court and you're up there in Sydney. So thanks for jumping on.
Thank you, John.
What were you doing prior to Jim's Mowing?
15 years in transport with a major transport company. I was basically getting like hours, so many hours a day, wasn't seeing family and that, so I decided to get out of it. Joined another fence hire place until I set up the gyms because it takes a little while to set it up. Left there and here I am.
What made you choose Jim's Mowing, or what made you sort of look at that as a business?
Did look at a couple of others. They didn't really suit my, like what I wanted. One of the company that never even, I asked them about it and they don't even do the Southwest Sydney area. So jumped on the gyms, and when I knew a guy, my daughter went to school with the father. He was a Jim's Mowing. He was down in Camden. I was talking to him and I went out with a trial day with him and then went a week with him and then went down to Melbourne.
Awesome. How did you find the training experience down here?
That was good. Really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, got on really well down there. But heaps.
How did it set you up for then doing the business in real life when you went back?
It was a bit scary at first because we were still in the drought, and I come back and I started mowing, like basically mowing dirt. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell have I got myself into here?
Yeah.
All of a sudden the rain came and that was it. It just took off.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then my son was still at school at the time. He used to come out with me like when I was getting really busy to help me out. Then we ended up, because I never had a ride on first when I first started. Then I got a ride on because I was getting more work. Since then, we've got 2 ride-ons and a stand-up Sandy Beef. I've re-employed him full-time. He left school and he's working with me full-time.
How's it go working with your son?
Good.
Good. Yeah.
We have times, we have our moments, but yes. And also, as well as that, I take on special needs kids from Glenfield Park School just on a day as a work experience thing with them to get them out and get them into the garden and lawns and that.
That's great. Yeah, it's really good of you. I think a lot of people don't know, but a lot of franchisees like yourself do that quite often. I don't think a lot of people know about that, so I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah, my son has special needs too, so we know what it's like.
Yep.
As a parent side of it, it's really hard. So otherwise, things have been very testing in this weather with the public holidays and the rain. That's been really hard.
How many regulars are in your business currently? What does your business look like?
The business at the moment's probably looking around 40, 50 down in that area. I'm happy with that at the moment because we can keep up with it in summer. But in winter, I've had a few drop off. People have passed and people have moved on into other areas and that. So I can open up my leads coming this winter when I start catching up a bit after this public holidays and all this rain we've got. So yeah, I'll probably open them up. But otherwise, yeah, I had a ute, which I've still got. I had a small trailer. I've since upgraded my trailer to a bigger one and had it built to how I want it. I've since bought a little NLR truck so then I can put a ride on the trailer as well as on the truck. Yeah, so because we get a fair bit of acreage stuff.
Okay. And what customization did you have done to the trailer? Like I'm sure a lot of the mowing guys listening will know what you're talking about. So maybe do you want to just a bit of detail about what you had done for what reasons?
I've got lockers on both sides.
Yep.
With three shells on each side. On the driver's side, also I've got a little above the mower box. I've got a little like window sort of thing, and I can put chemicals and stuff in there as well as I've got the mower, and I can put other stuff on the other side as well.
And how much acreage do you do? Like how many types of acreage jobs? Is that mainly most of your work or?
One client, he's got acreage 37 acres.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, but I don't marry all that. He's got cattle and sheep and stuff on it.
Yeah.
But I do all his properties. He's got 12 properties that I look after and maintain.
Oh, wow.
That's challenging. As well as I've got some Catholic education, and I've got like a hardware and a couple of fence yards that I look after as well.
And you mentioned some gear before. So why do you like the brands that you use, or what's your sort of philosophy around the gear?
The gear I use Hustler.
Yeah.
And I was using Honda when I first started. I used Honda and I was using Steel. But since then, I have gone with Ego.
Okay, so you made the change from battery to from petrol to battery. Okay.
Yeah, because it's a little bit more not as pricey. Well, it's same price outlay, but you cutting out your servicing. You're not getting much servicing to do with it.
Right.
Because I find in my Honda mower, I was taking down the workshop nearly every 4 to 6 weeks, getting this fixed or getting that fixed or clutch or whatever. And I've got a bit better than this. So I'll go take a chance and I'll go Ego. So I've got 2 Ego mowers. I've got the plastic self-drive driven one, and I've got the commercial aluminium frame one. I've got a Weber Stepper.
The blower, or you the edge?
I have a blower. I'd love to get the Vulture, and we're thinking about purchasing. The commercial blowers just come out on the market. I've got the Hedger and I've got Fast Charge.
Oh, the Fast Charge for the batteries, yeah.
Yeah.
And what would you say the power difference is like going from petrol to battery? Have you noticed the difference?
Yeah, I have noticed it a little bit, especially if you've got thicker grass. You've got to make sure you have your blade sharp.
Okay.
Basically. Or if there's a bit of water on it, like moisture in the morning or the afternoon, make sure your blades are sharp to cut through it.
Is that the main thing you do for maintenance with it? Is just make sure the blades are sharp constantly, or is that all you have to do with it?
Yeah, basically that. I still have Honda mowers in case, or I have the 32-inch stand-up, and I can fit a catcher on it, Catch Pro catcher.
Cool.
So I can actually catch up with either mower, either the Hustler mower or the stand-up. I can put a catcher on it.
That makes sense. And I just want to just take you back to something you said before, because we were talking about it the other day with some franchisors, and like you come to training and then the first week back you had a drought and you go, geez, what was I've done here? And it can be, you might think, I made the wrong decision, I'm going to chuck it in. So what would you sort of say to people around that? Because I think that can be quite common sometimes. You come to training here, you hear from all the presenters and everyone's probably a year or two ahead of where you're going to be. Then you go back and then you think it's going to happen from day one, and then you go, it's pretty tough sometimes. So how'd you get through that, and what did you sort of tell yourself?
I'm just my willpower, I suppose. I knew that I could do it. Anything I try and do, I make sure I can do it. Yeah, I just mow it on and away I went. But
how long did it take you to get to feel comfortable then with your decision? Like, did it take a couple of months, or was it just?
Yeah, it took me probably about a good month to settle in and go, yep, okay, got to get out of bed, and I'm working for myself now. I'm not working for someone else. That's what I like, the flexibility of, like, we don't start in the winter like early because there's no use because of the water we get around at the moment and that. So I start by 8:30, that area. In summer, we try and start a bit earlier, 7:30, try and be on site.
How did you go with that shift from, you said around a month, which I think is great. It's a great answer to hear that, because I think it is weird. People come from being an employee for many years and they got that routine, and then, all right, now it's on you. So then you got to make that shift. But everyone always has it in them, I think. It's just that switch. They've got to go from that mindset to doing it for themselves. And once I think they do it, they realize that switch and they put in the hard work that they used to do at their job into their own business. They start flying.
Yeah, it's really deceiving. Like, you think yourself, okay, I've got to work for myself. I've got to push and get my work done because I've got people waiting for me to turn up and expecting me at a certain time within a 2-hour frame. Or I tell them sometimes, depending, when I book stuff in, I book it in during the weekends. I book all my working for the week on the weekend. If it's anything like this weather at the moment, I put weather depending. I tell them if I put that, they know that I'm not coming, or I send them another email or give them a call and say, hey, look, how is your morning? Is it raining over in your way? Because some areas it might not be. So I can go out and do it. Like the other day we done it, and the rain was sort of behind us. So we were in front of it. So every time we'd finish a job, but then it eventually caught up with us. But yeah, it's really frustrating sometimes.
Well, have you enjoyed being your own boss compared to before?
Yeah, I do. It has its ups and downs. That you have got the juniors backing, but you're dealing with the customer, and it's you to work out the problem or the situation or what their needs is on the site, and you've got to basically sort it out. So
Has that been the challenging thing for you? Just like obviously customers, I think for any business or service business can be a challenge. So has that been the hardest thing? Is just customers and finding out exactly what they want and being able to get out of them what you need to know, or has there been anything else that's been challenging?
with people with prices,
Right,
when I
right.
put my prices in, they go, "Oh, we'll see how you go." Also, I forgot to tell you that I got a real estate that I deal with. They either send me a work order or they send me a work order to do the quote for the job. Sometimes then you're chasing them saying, or chasing people for the money to pay for that service that's been done. But yeah, I try and keep it down. At least the end of the month, I try and close off and say, you've got to pay between that date. I had a customer I had for 5 years. I done her hedges for her and I filled the bin up. And I said to her, "Oh, would you like me to take it away, but it's going to cost you a fee?" No, Craig. Just come back and finish the job next week. My bin gets emptied on Tuesday. This was Monday. I said, okay, all right. The bin got emptied Tuesday. I went back. I done the job, finished the top of the hedge off. I mowed the lawn, sent the invoice, and she turned around and she's gone, "Craig, that's too much. You've double charged me." No, I haven't. I'll charge you for the first lot that I done. Only went out from the time I was there, and now I'm charging you for the time I'm here for this one. Oh, no, I'm not happy with that. And the mowing's too expensive because they've, since AstroTurf, the backyard, I've still charged you the same price, $60. I said, well, I don't want to lower my price any lower than that. I'm just on a front lawn corner block. She's gone, "Oh, well, look, I'll have to find someone else." I said, "Is that what you want to do after having you for 5 years and me looking after your lawn and garden?" And yeah, we departed. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's sometimes what it's like.
Customers, relationships is everything. And it's not going to be easy all the time. You're going to have situations like you've just talked about. I think that can be probably, as you're saying, one of the biggest challenges in doing Jim's mowing is getting used to the customer side of it and all the different situations you're going to come up with. And it's not really, so you're sort of on your own, I guess, aren't you? In sort of that, sort of work it out and figure it out and talk to other franchisees and see what they would do.
Yeah. So, but I have spoken to other franchisees and they said, yeah, well, she's like you, get you back again and get you to do a job, and she's not like to pay again. So at least you got the money out of her, half of the money out of her.
Absolutely. And how do you go with the other franchisees and your franchisor? Do you talk much to them or?
Yeah, I do actually. I had a school I done out at Bradbury.
Yep.
I had a guy, Jim's mowing Macquarie Fields. I trained him. I can go out a week as well.
Yeah.
And him and I work together quite often. We work together.
Yep.
And because he hasn't got any ride-on mowers, but he gets some ride-on work. So him and I work together and we hard the job.
Yep.
The feast. Also, I had a guy I took out for a trial day and he come out with me. I had him for a day as well. I employed him for the day as well as Macquarie Fields and another guy from Hitchinbrook. Yeah, so, yeah, Jim's mowing Hitchinbrook. I had him as well and I trained him up and I had him for the day.
That's great. Well, Chris is sending you out for observation days. Obviously, he base you, which is a great thing as well. So how do you go off your franchisor, Chris?
Chris, yeah, no problem at all. We went to Bali last year for the
really?
Conference. And,
yeah, nice.
And we've booked in ready to go again for this year for the week.
Is that for it must be the only New South Wales who do that. Is it just you, Chris's region who does it or?
No, I think it is. There's a couple of others.
So it must be New South Wales, the franchisors in New South Wales. That's not bad. So I didn't know that. You go to Bali as a group. That's good.
Yeah, Bali for a week. The Jim's Mowing Conference.
That's good. That's really good to hear. That's nice. And what was done at the conference? Was it a live presentation or was it more just getting on the bin tangs or?
He puts it on his weekly podcast that he does weekly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so he sends that off every week and says, we're interested in coming to Bali.
That's great.
Just book in and, we'll give you the schedule for it.
No, it's great. It's great to hear that a franchisor is doing that for his group. I think they do good conferences, and that's great to hear that you guys do. I don't think every region does that, so you're very lucky to have that available for your region.
Yeah, as well as I do with Chris quite often. Sometimes he'll ring me and say, can you take out a blade for the week or for a trial day? Take them out on a trial day and I had to show them the ropes and show them what you got to do. And there was one time there I had two guys come out and they were in slides. They were come to work in slides.
They were a slag, that one.
Guys, what are you doing here on site with David? Oh, but we need to know what we've got to do and we need to learn. Guys, I can't train you with this. So I took them, I said, right, okay, you come with me. Here's a blower each. Go and blow down the tennis court for me. Just do that. Just stay out of the way. Don't use any other tools. Yeah. So I always...
They didn't end up signing up, did that?
I think they did. I think they
did. Oh, I have to find out who these people are. Yeah.
So I said to them, I said, look, don't turn up in slides again. But yeah, now I turn around, I say when I take people out for a trial day or a week, I make sure I say to them that please wear enclosed shoes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, even though it might be obvious to us, I've never heard of that, someone rocking up in slides to do the observation day. But I was going to say then, Craig, because you're dealing with a lot of new people and prospects, sort of, what are the main questions people ask you about being a franchisee and sort of what do you sort of say?
Yeah, I had one guy, he come past me one day and he goes, oh, Jim's mowing, how do you find it? What do you think of it? And I say, well, best move I ever done. I wish I'd done it when I was younger. Yes, because it's the flexibility of working hours. It's your own boss. You just got to look after your own area sort of thing. And you've got the backing of the Jim's group. People will help you out if you need a hand.
And physically, how do you or how do you enjoy the work?
Yeah, sometimes it's like if I'm doing like hedges or trees and that, I'm like, I think I've had enough for the day. Pull the plug. But yeah, I just motor on, sit down and have a drink, have something to eat.
Yeah.
Go back to do it.
Do you enjoy the physical side of it? Because it can be, I know it can be challenging for people, but I think, with fitness and health and stuff now, I think it's a lot of people in the corporate job are a lot more unhealthier than obviously you guys out in the field. And I think I've met a lot of franchisees in their 60s and 50s and stuff, and they look fantastic compared to guys who are equivalent age doing the corporate job. So
yes, I'm 60 this year actually. So yeah, it's challenging. It's good. I think I'm a lot fitter. When I first started, I lost probably nearly 4 kilos the first couple of months.
Really? Well, yeah.
So because I was just sitting in a truck, pallet on, pallet off sort of stuff, and then I went and worked for a toilet fence fire place. That was an eye to see. But yeah, I won't go back to that again.
And income wise, Craig, you happy with what you're doing money wise?
Yeah, I was sitting good at the moment. I'm probably had a record month this month. Yeah, I have.
Well done.
Record month this month.
That's great.
But yeah, and I could have been better if we didn't have the rain around. There was a lot more work. There's still more work that I've got in the back of my mind that I've moved because people ask me to do stuff in summer. Can I push it back and just push it back and I'll note it down. Look, I will do it, but it won't be done this time of the year. I'll do it in winter when it's a little bit cooler.
And I was going to say, what work do you like to enjoy doing? Is there a particular type of service you like doing in your business?
I like to be right on work, be like factories and stuff like that. So I like.
Yep. Is that just because you just drive the truck up and you just literally jump on the back and wheel down and away you go?
No, not all the time.
Okay.
Well, the guy that I got all the properties for, he wants on his properties. He wants everything done. When I go out and do this other property, he wants me to clean down the patio, wash it down, wash the front and back patio down. This time of year, I normally put the wet and forget on the pathways and hose it down, and I just charge him, and then he pays next week. So he's
good customer. Wants you to do some more services there. That's good.
Yeah. So he does that. I don't take on any gutter work.
Right.
I just don't want to get up on the roof, climbing on the roof. No, not for me. I had a bad truck accident. I broke my fibula.
Oh wow.
Yeah, years ago. So the ladder I use is one with the platform, which is ideal. And I do have a small scaffold that I use as well if I need to.
Is the scaffold mainly for if you're doing hedges at the top of hedges and stuff, or how do you use the scaffold?
Yeah, just mainly for hedges up the top, along the top,
Yeah.
Or,
I think it's a lot better to use the scaffold anyway because it's way more steady and you can probably concentrate a bit better than I know some people jump up with the ladder between their legs sort of thing. But I've seen the scaffold in action. I think it's a good way to go.
yeah, it's only like a mini scaffold
Yep.
thing. But yeah, it's great. And I work with another guy. If I need to, I'll get him to come and help me, like Jim's mowing for fields. He comes out and gives me a hand as well. Knock the job over.
Now, why do you think people like using Jim's Mowing, or where does the Jim's Mowing sit in the market to you? There's obviously a lot of opinions about it, and I think Jim's is known as a premium service now. It's not, you don't come to us for a $30 or $20 job. So, how do you see Jim's in the market mowing, and why do people use us?
I think because I always get people who reply to me, I love how you do your edges. It's always clean. You see some of these we call them fly-by-night people that come in, do the job, and they're gone. Even there's a guy down the street that comes a couple of doors down and he does his lawn down there. And he blows all the grass onto the road and in the gutter and then mows and leaves it. And it just looks such a mess. You get me where I blow it back onto the grass, whip a snip, and then blow it onto the grass and then mow it up, which then looks 100% better in quality than the fly-by-night guy.
I think I do notice a big difference. Like we have maybe we don't have any Jim's mowing in my area, but I do notice the difference. I see a few independents and just the state of the vehicles, the uniforms, what they're wearing, all these sorts of things. And as you said, the quality of work, leaving grass clippings everywhere, not blowing it properly where they need to do it. And I do notice the difference myself when I walk around the joint and compared to the Jim's mowing guys. And I think customers want that trust as well who's coming to my house, and that they're gonna keep coming to my house as well. You'd hear it all the time, the last mowing, then they get Jim's mowing guy. I had a mowing guy before and he stopped rocking up or didn't tell me or this and that, and it's a quite common occurrence.
Yeah. Also with that, I've got customers that I've never met that live the other side of the city, and there's houses out Campbelltown that I look after as well. Yeah, I just go in, I invoice it. I talk to him sometimes on the phone or I email him if there's anything wrong with the premises, and that's it. He knows that I've been there and he trusts me. There's one customer I've got, I send a before and after photo. It's just a block of land. She lives on the other side of this northwest Sydney, over Chris's way. Yeah, I always go in there, I mow it, do the edges, blow it all down, and I'm gone, done. And I send her before and after photos and she pays me. But yeah, it's the trust in that. Yeah, like even me, I got an old lady out at Harrington Park. We do our gardens, all the whole backyard's all garden, all trees and shrubs and everything. We do that, and we mow the front lawn. She's got a sprinkler system. Coming this week, I've been there. I've turned the sprinkler system down. I've reset the clock because of daylight savings has changed. I put her bins out, and I went in and seen her. I done all that, and then I went knocked on the door and. She says, yeah, come in. And I said, oh, look, Janice, I've done this, and I've done this. Oh, okay, thank you. I said, have a nice day. I hope you had a nice Easter. See you later. Okay, see you later. And she paid the next day. So it's just those little things that, or if there's any parcels on the front of the step or anything like that that's been delivered, I pick them up and I take them in and I go, Janice, here's your parcels for the day. Here's your mail. Oh, okay, thank you. So it's just those little things that help too.
Yeah, I think people notice them. Absolutely. It's those little 1%ers and people do notice what's done at their property, I believe, and they will notice the quality of difference. And I think, as you said, those little things you do are nice little gestures which people always remember, and they'll keep coming back using your services all the time.
Yeah, that's right. My truck's I only bought it last year, so it's a brand new truck, and then I keep the trailer pretty much smicked as well. I always wash it down when I wash the truck down, give it a clean.
That's the big thing for me, Craig, is I drive a bit, I've got to drive a bit to get to work, and I see the Jim's mowing guys and I always look at their vehicles, and most of the time they look fantastic, but sometimes it irks me when there's someone hasn't cleaned it or they haven't got their trailer paint redone. You definitely do notice, and it's a massive, the vehicle appearance is a big thing. I think for cleaning, for mowing, all those sorts of things as well. If you rock up to someone's house, it's got to be looking smick and smack.
Yes, it's the presentation and your shirts and your pants.
Yeah, the shirts. Yep. The shirt's the big one as well. I think I know you guys have got a quoting shirt as well where you go and quote, and it looks fantastic. I just don't see hardly any independents even having a uniform, really. So I think it's amazing.
No, they don't.
Those little things matter. Is there anything, Craig, I haven't asked you that I should have asked you?
No, I don't think so. I think that's pretty much right.
Yeah, well, thank you. Did you book the podcast, or did you get sent a link? Or
yeah, I seen it. I got an email and then I booked it.
Oh well, thanks for doing that. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. We're always looking for more mowing guests. So if people don't know, the Jim's Mowing podcast is actually ranked, I think it's ranked number 10 worldwide for the franchise category podcast, which is cool. So you can hopefully try and get it up the rankings for gardening and mowing. We just need to get more guests on like yourself. So appreciate you doing that. It's quite an easy, it's always good to meet. I'd recognize your name from the Facebook and the Jim's Wild and all that sort of stuff many years ago, Craig. So it's good to meet you in person again.
Yeah. Bit challenging when we had COVID. I lost a few customers there. I reckon if we hadn't had COVID around, I probably would have had all the customers that I've had, and my business probably would have been further in front now. But yeah, it takes probably a good 5 years to get established and get seated to know where you're going.
Well, 5 years in business is a pretty good achievement because there's not many, like you look at the not failure rates, but people out of business after 3, 5 and 10. After 5 or after, it drastically reduces. So, and to be in business after 5 years is a good achievement in itself. I think franchisees underestimate that sometimes. They sort of 5 years, but not many businesses sometimes get to that mark. So you've done well to get to 6 years, especially then you've obviously got the lockdown. And you just started, I think you just started just before it, 2019. So
yeah. But
it's not an ideal time.
No, it wasn't. But who was to think that we're ever going to have a thing? So yeah, otherwise, yeah, it's been good, challenging.
Great to hear, Craig, and thank you for your insights as well. We appreciate it. I'm sure Chris will like hearing your thoughts as well, and the other boys as well. You've mentioned giving a shout out the other franchisees, and hopefully other franchisees like Craig can jump on any time. You can book us via the link or reach out. Like have the mowing franchisees on the podcast. So we appreciate your time, Craig.
All right, happy to be.
Thank you for listening to the episode of the More Than Just Mowing podcast by Jim's Mowing. If you do need help with your local gardening expert, please give us a call at 131 546 for Australia, 0800 454 654 for New Zealand, or head to jimsmowing.com.au or jimsmowing.co.nz. If you liked what you heard, please make sure you leave us a review as well, wherever you consume your podcast. We appreciate your support. And until next episode, we hope you have a great week.